What it do, YouTube? Boy, Tony Vogue, E-Boy, and Zombie Slayer here. Long lost, Reactor. Well, I've returned. You see, I came back with the aliens. The aliens and the UAPs and the UFOs above New Jersey and New York. No kidding, actually. Because I don't believe in these things. No, I don't believe we have UFOs. I don't believe we have alien. And I believe the crafts over New Jersey are very man-made. We're gonna check out a interview on the Lex Friedman podcast. If you don't know Lex Friedman, he interviews a variety of great guests, generally along the topics of science, technology, finance, and politics. Here he is interviewing Adam Frank, an astrophysicist. And I think this is a poignant argument that Mr. Frank makes.
The UFO sightings.
I am all in favor of an open, agnostic, transparent, scientific investigation of UFOs and UAPs. But the idea that there's any data that we have that links UFOs and UAPs to non-human technology, I just think the standards, none of what is claimed to be the data lives up to the standards of evidence. So let's just take a moment on that idea of standards.
That's right. What in the world has us convinced that these are extraterrestrial craft? Have we ever had extraterrestrial craft before? Do we have a frame of reference? How do we know they're extraterrestrial craft? How do we even call them unidentified? Someone has to know what they are.
Standards of evidence, because I've made a big deal about this both in the book and elsewhere whenever I talk about this. So what people have to understand about science is we are really mean to each other. We are brutal to each other. Because we have this thing that we call standards of evidence. And it's the idea of you have a piece of evidence that you want to link to a claim. And, under what conditions can you say, oh, look, I've got evidence of, this claim X, Y, and Z. And in science, we are so mean to each other about whether or not that piece of evidence lives up to the standards that we have. And we spent 400 years determining what those standards are. And that is why cell phones work, right? If you didn't have super rigorous standards about, what you think that, oh, this little antenna, I've invented an...
Yeah, cell phones have to operate on a certain band, on a certain frequency. Right, we've got 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, LTE somewhere in between. You can't just build a cell phone tower that emits frequencies at a random frequency and then expect devices manufactured by someone else that pick up random frequencies that are not your tower to create a functional network. In the same regards, we have standards and we have procedures for verifying that an argument is in fact a hypothesis.
A new kind of antenna that I can slip into the cell phone and I can show you that it works. If you didn't have these standards, every cell phone would be a brick. Right? And when it comes to UFOs and UAPs, the evidence you have and the claim that this shows that we are being visited by non-human advanced civilization just doesn't even come close to the same standards I'm going to have to obey or whatever, live under. If my team, the group I work with, if one of them says, look, wants to announce that, oh, we've discovered a techno signature on an alien planet, we're going to get...
As I had to. Techno signature on another planet. I want to go raving on another planet. That'd be fire. I mean, as long as they breathed oxygen and weren't nasty, slimy, fucking snail-looking things.
Shredded, as we expect to be.
That's right.
And
we'd be decimated.
The UAP, UFO community should expect the same thing. You don't get a pass because it's a really cool topic. So that's where I am right now.
One of the more interesting arguments I've heard about these aliens, dramatic pad in, is that they are plasmoids from the thermosphere of the Earth, or perhaps not the Earth's thermosphere, but there are a large group of smart smart people, scientists, like the kind with multiple PhDs. These people ain't got one PhD, they have multiple. You know, xenobiology, astrobiology, astrophysics, chemistry, biochemistry, plasmoid life. Now this theory is something else. Essentially, a few really smart people made the mistake of anthropomorphizing something, not making it seem human, because that's what anthropomorphizing means, but they made it seem like an organism. Papers and some research showed that plasma seems to move in ways that we may even define as intelligent, or certain plasma. See, I'm not one of those big brains. I play Call of Duty on the internet and react to things. It's on you guys to decide what's brainy and what's not. So plasmoid life. Plasma. I mean, the sun's made of plasma. There might be life on the sun in those regards. You see what I mean? It's a little ridiculous, isn't it? The funny thing is, plasmoid life is the most compelling theory out of all the theories that I have heard. Could be visuals, man.
Plasmoid is a term first coined by Winston Bostic in 1956 to describe a self-contained plasma entity. These entities can take on a variety of shapes, including cylinders. And
we're gonna explore the definition of that word too.
Their defining features are that the magnetic field they produce is trapped inside of the structure, wrapping around the outer circumference of the shape, and this causes the current to flow inside and enables it to
that's cool. They're electrically charged
for a long period of time.
They're a bunch of gas.
Large plasma clouds may
not really
actually be large plasmoids. If these plasmoids collapse due to Bennett pinching or gravitational collapse, they can store a vast amount of energy and release this in the most spectacular way. In the lab, it has been demonstrated
fireworks,
that
I would bet.
Plasmoid structures can store a vast amount of magnetic energy in a very small space, and through its release, this energy very rapidly creates opposite.
Whoa. Blue beam. We're gonna come back to blue beams at the end of the video, but that just gave me chills at the end of this video and the Lex Friedman interview, which we'll return to.
Optically charged jets of electrons and ions. They are used to describe a large variety of phenomena, including ball lightning, coronal discharge from the sun.
No fucking way. So basically the US government is saying that the UFOs are ball lightning. Essentially, if ball lightning is a type of plasmoid, the ball lightning argument has been made since Roswell. Are we still gonna buy that?
Quasars and black holes in an electric and plasma universe. They are also considered a key line of research in the quest for sustaining nuclear fusion.
Well, I think I understand plasmoids now. Apparently, sometimes they have qualities that mimic human life. I think we've concluded that they are not alive. Back to the Lex Friedman interview. There's a lot going on in the United States right now. The assassination of a healthcare CEO. There is P. Diddy and the crimes against him, or the crimes that implicate him. There is the Biden pardon list. There's the TikTok ban. There's the fact that you guys have officials that y'all never elected in high influence positions like Elon Musk. Huh? MAGA? I wasn't smart, but why is there a Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, and why is Elon Musk, who has never been elected, at the side of the president all the time? Tesla does not make anywhere near the amount of cars that they would need to make to justify their current valuation. They get that money through government grants. What about the China hack? China has hacked the telecommunications infrastructure of the United States. China has also bought up swaths of land surrounding Air Force bases in the United States. It's interesting, isn't it? Great move. That is how the Chinese function. I'm not saying that the orbs are Chinese, but I know for a fact the drones are American. Are they escorting American secret test aircraft? Are they trying to chase far more advanced Chinese aircraft? Or, and this is one we won't hear talked about on YouTube, is it holograms in the goddamn sky, man? Project Bluebeam. I'm gonna leave it at that. Project Bluebeam. Holograms in the sky. Remember, deny everything. As I mentioned, there's a lot going on in the United States. And I want to cover some of these topics because I feel I have to. It just feels right. I am on the outside looking in from Canada, but not so far on the outside because we're basically the United States. Next episode. The next episode, we're going to remain focused on the skies for now. We're going to talk about something that I've hinted at really heavily at the end of this video, actually. Project Bluebeam. Make sure you subscribe.